Our charges allege two distinct categories of criminal conduct. First, the Chinese defendants targeted well over 100 victims worldwide in a variety of industries and sectors that are sadly part of the standard target list for Chinese hackers. These criminal acts were turbocharged by a sophisticated technique referred to as a supply chain attack, in which the Chinese hackers compromised software that providers around the world had and modified the provider's code to install backdoors that enabled further hacks against the software providers. Second, several of the Chinese defendants compromised the networks of video game companies worldwide. Two of the Chinese defendants stand accused with two Malaysian defendants. I'm pleased to announce that through the cooperation of the Malaysian law enforcement authorities, the two Malaysian defendants were arrested on Sunday evening. Ideally, I would be thanking Chinese law enforcement authorities for their cooperation in the matter, and the 5 Chinese hackers would now be in custody awaiting trial. Unfortunately, the record of recent years tells us that the Chinese Communist Party has a demonstrated history of choosing a different path. Less than 2 months ago, Assistant Attorney General Demers was at this podium to announce an indictment in another hacking case, in which the Chinese government tolerated the defendants' criminal activity because those defendants were willing to work on behalf of the Chinese intelligence services. And here we are again. In this case, one of the Chinese defendants is accused of boasting to a colleague that he was, quote, very close to the Ministry of State Security and would be protected, quote, unless something very big happens. No responsible government knowingly shelters cyber criminals that target victims worldwide in acts of rank theft. Responsible nations not only condemn criminal conduct, they root it out and punish it. Responsible nations disavow criminals within their borders and bring them to justice. Responsible nations work with other countries' law enforcement authorities to ensure that justice is served in a court of law. The PRC has done none of these things. The Chinese government has made a deliberate choice to allow its citizens to commit computer intrusions and attacks around the world, because these actors will also help the PRC.